Welcome to the Chronically Healthy Life show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? We all do. It's been programmed right into us. But what if we flip that whole idea on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, our minds, our finances, our relationships, and of course, in our lives. Let's jump right on in. I'm Andy, and joining me in everything is my life partner, Minna.
So we're into season three.
Yes, we're kicking off season three today.
It's hard to believe it's been 2 years.
Exactly. What started out as just a dream of creating our own TV show has become a reality.
Well, Chronically Healthy Life has been around for actually 2 years. And, we talk about not just about health in our body, but we also talk about relationships, mindsets, finances, everything that affects your life.
I so agree. Everyone says, "Oh, wow, is this just going to be another health and nutrition show, health and exercise?" No, it's like to live a chronically healthy life. We believe it's everything that encompasses in your life, right?
Yeah, so, if you watch our show, you know that we all have a guest almost every episode. And over the last couple of years, we have gathered a group of the most well received, the most liked coaches, and we're doing something new with them.
Yes, we're gathering them all together. We picked our favorite 11 coaches. And actually, one of them was even one of our guests. But I loved her so much. When I met her, I told her she had to be one of our coaches for our new upcoming TV show.
So I guess as of season three of this show, we're starting another show, which is another steps towards our whatever your dream is.
Yes, and we're going to be calling that new show Chronic Health Collective. We talked a little bit about it last week, and it is going to be kicking off October 1st. And that would be on our Tuesday. It's going to be Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And why don't you tell people what the show's going to be all about?
So we call it Chronic Health Collective because this is a collective of people from different areas, from different walks of life. So we have 13 coaches, including us, and each week we will feature one of the coaches and focus on a specific theme for that quarter. And to start off, what are we talking about?
I think we are talking about.
You're struggling with it.
Oh my God, what are we talking about?
So we're into October, almost the end of the year, and Thanksgiving and all that. So we're talking about reflections.
There you go. See, reflections. It's got so much going on. It's like as we're recording the show, this show's normally live. As we're recording the show, I'm not going to be here this Friday. So excuse me if my brain is in the clouds a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen this Friday for Becoming the Better You. And yeah, so reflections, right? Reflections for October.
Well, while you're at it, you must have talked about your Friday thing.
Yes, so I am going to be at the Becoming Better You event put together by my dear friend Brenda Ringwood. We interviewed her a couple of weeks ago, and it's going to be in Kansas. It's going to be kicking off Friday night and Saturday. It's an amazing event in Kansas, and I am going to be talking about the topic: do we think we are aging, living longer than our previous generations?
Well, last time you went there, people remember you as a parasite guy, right?
Yes, like you're the parasite guy. I was just talking about a square inch of salmon and how many thousands of parasite eggs there was in there. And apparently I messed up sushi for everybody.
So, well, the point is not that you don't eat sushi, but you don't, you have to know how to deal with it after the fact.
Exactly. We love sushi. That's probably one of our favorite proteins to eat. We love sashimi. We love salmon. And like you said, you can have parasites. There's always going to be things in the foods that we eat. And being aware of it is very important because now that you're aware of it, what are you going to do about it, right?
Well, there you go. That's part of what we talk about all the time. But let's bring it back to collective. We're also starting off a new magazine with the group of the 13 people that we have. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, so we're going to have a monthly magazine. This is going to be almost like our monthly newsletter, but rather than just coming from us, we're going to have amazing articles from our 12 other coaches that's going to be sharing different aspects of what they do, and how that can relate to improve your life in those different areas like relationships, divorces, if you're having problems with your relationship, how to manifest, how to fight autoimmune disease, how to have better mindset, how to up level your game in all aspects of life. There's a lot of things that our coaches is going to be able to provide for you to bring your life, your chronically healthy life, to a whole nother level.
So how do we get hold of the magazine?
The magazine, the best way would be to, well, that's a good question because I haven't put a mailing list.
Well, it's not ready yet. That's why.
It's not quite ready yet. It's not quite ready yet. But I will have, once the show's on, I will have, I guess, a landing page, with a fancy QR code once the show launch for you to scan, to be on on our mailing list to receive this amazing Chronic Health Collective magazine monthly. And our first magazine, like Minna said, is going to be kicking off on October 1st, the same day that our show is going to be airing.
Right. We can't emphasize enough how most people are not getting the right advice from the right person. Usually it's a neighbor, your parents, or your friends. They're usually not the right people, because the people that's already around you, you already know what they talk about, right? So to get your right advice to get you to your end goals, you have to find the right group of people, and we think this collective is the right group of people for you.
Exactly. Like Minna says, you are who you're around with. So if your health isn't doing that well, maybe it's the people that you're hanging around with. If your career goals aren't going as well as you want, or maybe your power attraction, your manifestations, and maybe you're doing it all wrong, and if they're not working for the people around you, it's why it's not working for you too. So like Minna says, these coaches is going to give you so many tips and ideas and different ways to look at life in a different lens, so you can improve in all aspects of life that you don't even know about yet.
For sure. So we hope you're going to like the show, but let's talk about our guest for today.
Yeah, our guest is Jorge, and I actually met him at a networking event, and we hit it off. We had some conversations, and he was like, yeah, health is wealth and wealth is health. And I wanted to hear a little bit more about that. And Christy's going to be coming back and diving in a little bit about that. He's going to dive in a little bit about crypto, a little about everything, So it's going to be a very interesting interview.
Perfect. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back after that break. All right, strap in, folks. We're about to take a joyride through the fountain of youth. It's Annie Nam from Chronically Healthy Life. Ever wonder why some folks seem to age like fine wine, while others are more like a moldy cheese that's been forgotten in the back of the fridge? It's like they got the energy of a Duracell bunny on Red Bull, while the rest of us are running on fumes. Now, you might think hitting the gym and munching on kale is the ticket to eternal youth. But sometimes it feels more like we're just speeding up the aging process. Picture this. You're on the treadmill, feeling like $1 million, and suddenly you look down and realize your knees sound like a bag of popcorn in the microwave. Not exactly the sound of youth, am I right?
But fear not, my friends, because here's the kicker. It's not just about the number of candles on your birthday cake. It's all about those sneaky little stem cells playing hide and seek inside your body. At the age of 20, you got more of these bad boys than you can shake a stick at. But fast forward a few decades, and they're scarce as a parking spot in downtown Manhattan. But guess what? We got a secret weapon up our sleeves. Phototherapy patch technology without drugs. That's right, folks. With our stem cell activation patches, you can hit the rewind button on aging faster than you can say reverse aging. So if you're ready to reclaim your youth, look younger, feel stronger, and heal faster than a superhero with a side of espresso, then it's time to hop on board the rejuvenation train. Get your stem cell activation patches now at lifewave.com/chronically healthy life. And let's make aging look like yesterday's news. It's not anti-aging, it's reverse aging, baby.
Welcome to Chronically Healthy Life. Now, in our biohacking segment this time, I'm going to show you how to do something called a tepache, which is maybe a tepache. It's actually an ancient thing that people do. And the reason why I like it is because you're kind of using the parts of the pineapple that you would usually just toss it away. So, hey, recycle, right? So first of all, you want to have an organic pineapple. Make sure it's organic. And the reason is because we're actually using the skin, the rind outside the pineapple. So what you do is just cut off the head. And you can actually grow a pineapple using the head. So save that. And now just make sure that you wash this through. Okay, so now what you do is you cut off the bottom, cut into smaller pieces, and cut up the rind. This one is really ripe. And it's okay to leave a little bit of meat on it. You don't have to be, too stingy about it. So we want the outside of the pineapple. And we also want the core. So cut it up. Save those for eating. And you want to cut up the core a little bit. So now what I have is hot water, boiling water, and I want to have 1 cinnamon stick. You put it in the water. 3/4 cups of cane sugar. So pour that in. Okay. Stir it up so that you melt the sugar. Okay, so we're good. And what I have here is about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, ground nutmeg. These are cloves, I think. So about 6 pods of cloves. And star anise, 2 star anise, and these are all spice berries. So you probably have about 6 of those. Just throw it in, and you want to put in the rind, and also the core. Okay, I have to cut that up a little. Shove it all in and fill the jar up with water. All right, so that's all you need to do. Now you fill the jar with water, you cover it up with a cheesecloth. There you go. And you let it sit on the window for a couple days. when you come back in a couple of days, this will be a fermented pineapple drink. So it'll be slightly fizzy, but it's sweet also. And it's really good for digestion. It's similar to kombucha or kefir. So it's really easy to make. And the rest of pineapple, you can just eat it as you normally do. And I'll come back in a couple of days to show you what it looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like after a couple of days, actually 3 days. It looks the same, but all you have to do is pour it out, strain it, and you can use it. So you smell it. It smells like cloves and pineapple, and we did have sugar in it, so it should be, slightly sweet. So all you have to do is pour it back out. Okay. And these things you can compost. All you have to do is put that into the fridge. Let's see. Okay, a little bit sweet. Tastes like pineapple. So I would put in the fridge, make it cold, and I would add a little bit of soda water to it just to make it a little more fuzzy, and it's good to go, and you're good to drink. And there you have it. So this is this week's biohack, the pineapple tepache. See you next week.
Hello, and welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life show. I would love to introduce you all to our guest today, Jorge Herrera. He was born in Colombia, which, if you're geographically challenged, is in South America, folks. And he was born to entrepreneurial parents. So he was an entrepreneur right from the get-go. He emigrated to the U.S. in 1985. Jorge teaches small business owners and professionals that the best economic decision in life is to own and control the platform in which they deposit most of their money, and to profit from that money and what it can produce for the rest of their lives, as opposed to, I think, giving it all to the banks, right? So Jorge can help qualified prospects create the infinite banking solution and share the ventures he is involved with, like Forex trading, blockchain sports, and bio limitless. Welcome, 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 Jorge.
Thank you, Christy.
Well, this is a really interesting topic, I think, to all of us, because it's becoming more and more known how the banks, they've taken away, they don't even give you interest anymore. You might get a few pennies, but they're making buckets of money on your money, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, it really all started to me in 2005. I've been in business. I've been giving my money to the banks, depositing with them, going through the hurdles, the problem that they create for you to have access to money. So in 2005, I met a gentleman of the name of Nelson Nash, a tremendous gentleman, very generous. Unfortunately, he left us about 3 years ago. But he left a tremendous legacy. He wrote a book called Becoming Your Own Banker. And he taught many insurance agents in this fantastic platform. And actually, the book wasn't written for insurance agents, was written for the general public. But it's fantastic education because, in 2005, that changed my view about money, about the history of the United States and how governments really work. So, for example, something that many people don't know. One of the worst years that this country has had was 1913. You know why? Because in 1913, the IRS was created
Oh,
and the Federal Reserve the same year. So you cannot have anything worse because the Federal Reserve actually has created so much havoc in the world since it was created that it's, I mean, I can talk the whole day about all this.
and everybody knows about the IRS.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, that's yes. That what was the name of his name is Martin Nash?
Nelson
Nelson.
Nash,
Nelson Nash. And what was his the title of his book?
Becoming Your Own Banker.
Becoming Your Own Banker. Okay, excellent. That's something I'm definitely going to look up. Well, when our show is about chronic health, and we think that health applies to everything in our lives, and wealth is
It's true.
definitely something. Yes, because so I love the fact that you're going to talk to us about creating wealth today.
Well, actually, health is so important because without health, money really doesn't make much difference for you. And even without health, it's difficult to love. So health is really the top. But there's also the idea that if you have wealth, you can achieve more health because you have access to more resources to keep yourself healthy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's been a big bone of contention that those of us who eat organic food and everything have to pay so much more to get real food. And if you lots of people, they're on such limited funds that they buy all the stuff in the stores that's really cheap, but it's not food. It's only food like.
Yeah.
And that wreaks havoc with their health.
Actually, I know that talking about religion and politics creates problems, but since you mentioned processed food, I have to mention Robert Kennedy because he was running on eliminating a lot of toxic for the people. And processed foods, they are full of chemicals that are no good for us. So if he gets to do something, I hope that will help us a lot on getting rid of processed foods.
Yeah. that would be amazing.
Mhm.
And then too, talking about, relationships as well. The our health definitely impacts all of our relationships, whether it's our friends, our families, our
Yep.
children. Because I think we've all been there. We've had the flu and you get grumpy and you want to be left alone and you want to sleep but it's temporary.
Mhm.
But when you get into chronic illness, then it becomes a really big problem with a lot of people, and you lose a lot of relationships that way.
Yeah. Well, my own beliefs are kind of well, almost everybody has unique beliefs, but I believe that everything starts in the mind
Mm.
because we have a fantastic, extremely powerful mind, and the fact is, people say, well, yeah, we are created at the image of our Creator, but many people might think that our Creator has a human image.
Mhm.
And because of that, we were created at his image. But that's not that's not the truth. That's not the reason that we were created at the image of our Creator. Is that our Creator gave us the possibility to create or gave us the capacity to create. And that's what we do with our mind by fixing our thoughts in what we want to get to reality.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
when somebody thinks sick, when somebody thinks that they have problems, that they are sick, that's what they're going to get. But if they think that they are healthy, that they are a source of health, that they have a tremendous immune system that we do, then they can face most things.
Mm-hmm. You know, it seems like it goes even beyond that. It's like if your belief system drives your behavior. So I think I'm a very healthy person and I seek out healthy things. I seek out healthy foods. We often talk about the LifeWave stem cell patches. We do those things that promote our bodies being healthy and by extension our minds and our emotions, all these things.
Yeah.
And whereas actually my father was a serious hypochondriac and he manifested terrible illness at the end of his life. And he was happy for the first time at the end of his life because he was seriously ill and that was what he always wanted to create. I'm not like my I'm like dad, but you're right. It starts up here and then it moves into our outer realm, our outer world. Yeah. I think
And doing anything that is natural helps a lot because nature is very friendly to us, and it gives us everything that we need to be healthy.
that's it. Yes. Well, let's return to the topic of building wealth.
Mhm.
I know you said blockchain and those kinds of wealth building tools, but there's so much confusion and misinformation out there around how to use those tools to build wealth. And many people have been ripped off because they've invested in one of those things on a platform that, folded or went bankrupt and they lost all their money. So kind of let's talk about that a little bit because I'm really interested in that.
Money is being manipulated by those in power from the beginning of history because they wanted to accumulate more and kind of cheat the population, so they debase the coins that they were using to a point that that the coins were worth nothing. So that's what creates that prices go up, because when money loses value, the person that has the goods doesn't want to give their goods for that worthless money, so they ask more of the worthless money to compensate that the money they debase it. So they try to sell their product for a higher value based on the debasing of the money.
Mm-hmm.
In today's environment, when people say, well, but it's tremendous inflation because you cannot get a good grocery shopping for a week with I mean, even for a day with $100. I mean, when sometimes I go to buy stuff and I buy 3 or 4 things and I look at the bill, it's $50.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, but that's the reaction to the real inflation. The real inflation is the manipulation of the money. And in our case, that we have money that is worth nothing, then it's easier for them to create it.
So, okay, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
Well,
Continue.
there was something that happened in August 15, 1971. Richard Nixon came on TV and he announced we're going to separate our paper money from gold, because what happened was that the government was abusing so much of the creation of money that the countries of the world, they came to the US and they said, we don't want paper, give me gold. So our reserves of gold were getting so little that's why Richard Nixon came out and announced that. And basically, we cheated the world at that moment, because we started giving them paper money worth nothing in exchange of their goods.
Okay. So, well then, so let's, how does blockchain technology work then to solve that problem?
Okay. The actually, before that, Nelson Nash created this fantastic platform that I actually wrote my book based on my passion to this concept, and I call it infinite banking, what the gurus don't tell you. And I presented in it all the benefits of this tremendous platform, because it gives you guaranteed interest. Where do you get guaranteed interest? Nowhere. It gives you dividends, because when you do this, you become part owner of the company. It gives you tax-free growth, and it can give you tax-free use. And since insurance started before the IRS, then this platform, these policies do not have to be shown on your tax return. So, and you can have all kind of money on it. You don't have to show it in your tax return.
Oh.
So all those benefits are incredible in this, and you have total control. Do you remember if you ever went to the bank to ask for a loan? Do you remember what you had to do?
Yeah, when I bought a house, yeah.
You have to go with a stack of documents to prove them that you didn't need the money.
Yeah.
Because that's how they lend it. If they see that you don't need the money, they lend it to you. But if they see that you are in a difficult situation, that you're in a precarious situation, and that's why you need to take a loan, they're not going to loan it to you.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And what is happening, and that's what I say, people of my age, I'm 70, I use checks, I use cash, I use credit cards, and but I know that the future of money is going to be digital.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that gold and silver can work as insurance, but I kind of lean that the future of money is going to be digital, because the new generations are the ones that are going to use the system, and they buy everything with their phone.
Yeah.
So the future of money is going to be digital. And that's why blockchain can come into place. And because blockchain is a way to separate from the central banks.
Mm-hmm.
So blockchain is created in the private space from different computers that people own. So all those computers are going to validate transactions, and it's going to be more transparent, and all the transactions are going to be registered, and governments do not have control of it. Now, unfortunately, governments own the guns, and there's a possibility that they can try to take control of blockchain and digital money because they have the guns. But the more people use digital coin and blockchain, the harder it would be for them to take control.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important for people to learn about it.
So how do you find something legitimate and something that's not just a scam? I think that's a fear that a lot of people have.
Well, there is good people and bad people everywhere,
That's true.
and if you put trust in the banksters, they are the crooked ones.
Yes, they are. The
Because
banksters.
because they work on a fraudulent system. It's called fractional reserve lending. So they can loan money that they don't have and then charge you interest on it.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that we contribute to that because
Well,
they create that money when we go to ask for the loans.
oh, right. It's the same with buying a house. It's like we buy a house and we pay on it for however many years until you sell it. But then when you sell it, it starts all over again with the next buyer. So it's a never ending stream of income for them. One house. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. But what I guess what I'm trying to understand is, how do you find good digital coin investments that are, that aren't gonna, just steal your money? Because I mean, I had some Ethereum on a platform, and the platform just went away, and I got screwed out of all the money I had in there. It's
Wow.
like, how can that happen? Because it's supposed to be mine, so I don't understand that.
I guess when the colonization of the United States of the West started, there were people that took a lot of advantage of others. So it's kind of a process.
An American tradition.
No, it's kind of a process. On everything that it starts,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be good people and bad people, and over time, the good people will root out the bad people.
Mm.
There are good exchanges out there, and are the ones that have lasted for the longest. And that's the one thing that we should have in mind, that those that the platforms that have lasted longer is because they have been transparent. Because when they started taking abusively the money of other people, somebody would complain, and then the news will go around, and that platform has to disappear.
I see. That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me. Yeah. So you want to look for, if you want to invest in coin, I don't know what else to call it. You want to look for platforms that have been around for a while. They're not just brand new. Hello, here we are. That's
part of learning that you're not going to lose your money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the also a big important thing is to keep records of the wallets that you are creating, keep records in writing in a place that you know where you put them and when you need to retrieve and you remember, but a place that is not obvious for other people to take it. And you shouldn't keep those records online because it's easier to be hackable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Go
Mhm.
offline or put them on a computer that's not hooked up to the internet. If you want to use a computer for something, it's not hooked up to
Yeah.
the internet. Yeah, I've heard that before. That's a good advice.
For
Yeah.
example, a lot of people they want to keep records of their thing by taking a screenshot in their phone of the thing, and that's a no-no because that's very easier to hack.
Mm. Phones are easier to hack, aren't they?
Pardon?
Our phones are easier to hack. Yeah.
Yes.
Someone told me, do you know this? This is kind of an aside, but someone told me always keep your Bluetooth off. Like when you're like, say you're at the grocery store, make sure your Bluetooth is off on your phone because someone can clone your phone just by walking past you, and you would have no way of knowing that they did that.
Well, I mean, you can have certain securities put on your phone, and the good thing is not everybody has the skills
Mhm.
to be around hacking. So that's the reason we don't get hacked every day because you also need very specialized knowledge to be able to do that.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true though, but still, it's don't keep stuff on your phone. Yeah. But
Yeah,
then it goes back to the what you were saying about the younger generations. They do everything on their phone. So that's potentially trouble for them, right?
yes, and maybe no, because since they were born on that environment, they know all kind of tricks too to to keep their stuff.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah,
Mhm.
kids are amazing. Things
Yeah.
that they come up with, they'll amaze you. Well, so back to do you have any recommendations for us, for our audience, of like where if they want to start investing in some kind of blockchain technology, where should they? Can you direct us to a place where we could start the process of that?
Well, it's proliferating. It's growing uh, everywhere. It's just a matter of doing your own your own research and and maybe talk to friends and because normally friends are going to give you a good a good point that instead of just um, following something that came up on internet, well, you can look at it, you can investigate it, and then you can also try to discuss it with friends. Hey, do you know about this? And they might have heard it, and even if they had a bad experience, they're going to tell you. Say, well, stay away from that.
Mm,
So I believe that's the way to go when we are starting on this field.
yeah, someone once said something about Ethereum and what was the other one? The one that everybody knows,
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Yeah, to kind of stick to one of those or both of those.
Well, yes, it is important because uh, there are thousands of coins, but a coin will keep value if if it offers a solution or if it offers a service, uh, meaning that that coin has some utility for something.
Mm,
that can be used for something. So when you do that, then that coin will probably keep their value.
Okay, so something really essential, that every like a service, you said that something really
Yeah, for
essential.
example, in what I'm offering in the screen, blockchain sports, we in this environment we have our own coin that is going to work in that environment for all the sports that we know. So that's utility. So that coin is going to keep value.
I see. Oh my gosh, Jorge, I could talk to you all day, but I think we are running out of time. So
Yes,
how
we are.
can
Thank you.
how can people reach out to you? And I understand you have a book as well.
Yes, they could find my book in Amazon. Is Infinite Banking: What the Gurus Don't Tell You. And since the book is relatively new, maybe you can try to look for the book through the author. And my name is Jorge E. Herrera.
Okay, that's wonderful. I thank you. And then your website is financialcontrol.now.site.
Yes.
Okay, all right, excellent. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
coming
Chris.
on today.
I enjoyed, and like you said, we could have keep talking for the rest of the day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, everybody, stay tuned. Up next is Kids Corner, and then we'll be right back. Hey, everybody. So for Kids Corner, I've been thinking about spending time with grandparents because, kids, that's a really, really positive thing for kids to do, spending time with their grandparents. When my brother and I were growing up, my mom sent us every summer to spend time between our two sets of grandparents, and we got to see our cousins and extended family that all lived back in Wisconsin and Minnesota that didn't live in California where we were. So it was really fun for us, and it got us out of my mom's hair for the summer. But one thing to remember is that grandparents, a lot of times we think we have to do something big for our grandchildren, but we really don't, because I'll tell you something. The things that I remember and the things that kids remember, they don't remember the big extravagant presents or anything like that. They remember the time you spent with them. They remember that you were there. I had something happen to me when I was 16. I got thrown off a horse back when I was in Minnesota, and my mom was here, and I was okay. I didn't get paralyzed or anything, but there was a long recovery period where I couldn't do anything. My grandmother sat with me by the hour and played games with me to keep me occupied. So, and I remember that. I remember the conversations and the laughter and the fun we had. That's what really matters to the kids. So remember that when if you start to feel guilty or something, don't. Just be present with your kids, whether you're the parents, the grandparents, uncles, aunts, whatever, be present with them. That's what they remember, and that's what they carry with them. Okay, ciao.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy later years with energy, vitality, and good health. But so often with age, our bodies show signs of things just aren't the same as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing recovery time, and sleep all go downhill. If you had physical trauma that happened to your body like I did, this happens much faster. I felt like a 30-year-old trapped in an 80-year-old body. But do you remember as kids the boundless energy we had, how fast we recovered? This is not because of getting old, but because of active stem cells inside our bodies. These are the cells that can generate and regenerate all the cells and structures in the human body. They are the building blocks of our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an innate repair system everywhere inside the body. But as we get older, stem cell activity slows down, become less effective in repairing damage, and decline. By the age of 20, we only have 1 billion stem cells left. By 30, they decline by 60%. By 50, they decline by 75%. 60 by 9%. And by 80, we're lucky to have 50 million active stem cells. But what if we can naturally stimulate our bodies to reactivate and regenerate new stem cells through phototherapy without drugs? Now we can with our LifeWave X39 stem cell activation patches. Reclaim your youth and look younger, feel stronger, perform better, and heal faster. Get your patches now at lifewave.com/chronically healthy life. It's not anti-aging, it is reverse aging.
Hello, we are Mutts and Meows Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit, foster-based, no-kill group. Mutts and Meows Rescue pulls dogs and cats from surrounding shelters in the greater Houston area. We even pick up dogs and cats abandoned on the streets. Mutts and Meows Rescue is foster-based and rely on your donations to keep rescuing. To know more about us is to know more about our furry friends and help them find their forever homes. Come visit us at Mutts and Meows Rescue on Facebook today and decide how you can make a difference.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. So this is season 3. I hope you like it so far. Who do we have next week?
Next week, we have life coach Diana Behasa. I hope I said her name right. She's going to have a really amazing life story. I'm not going to spill the beans on it, but she's going to talk a little bit about balance and burnout, between balancing your work life and your personal life, which I think a lot of people struggle with.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Especially now that we're heading towards the Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's burned out. Everybody's stressed out. So perfect timing.
Exactly. So join us here on Friday at 7 p.m. CST. You can watch past episodes at watch.e360tv.com in the Vitality TV network or on our YouTube channel at Chronically Healthy Life.
And if you'd like to know more about what we do and how we can help you live a chronically healthy life, visit us on our website at chronicallyhealthylife.com.
If you have any comments, questions, suggestions about our show, please let us know about them. We love to hear them. Comment us on the Facebook page, Chronically Healthy Life. Of course, email us at anything@chronicallyhealthylife.com. See you next week.
See you next week.